Yun. SQL, other operators, column alias, and table alias. Objectives. So in this video, we're going to use and the or operators for where clause of a SQL query. We're going to use also the in operator in a where clause of a SQL query, and use the between and operator in a where clause of a SQL query, then use column alias in a SQL query, and use table alias in a SQL query. So the and or. And or join two or more conditions in a where clause. The and operator displays a row if all conditions listed are true. The or operator displays a row if any of the conditions listed are true. So here's an example. We have here select asterisk from persons where first name equals Arnold and last name equals Zurin. So in this case, it will only show the record of the persons inside the table of the database if both of these conditions are satisfied. So let's say, for example, we have a name Arnold Garcia. So Arnold Garcia will not be displayed although the first name is Arnold. Or let's say we have Dante Azurin. So Dante Azurin will not be displayed because although the last name is Azurin, the first name is not Arnold. So both conditions here should be true before it will be displayed. So that's the use of and. And here we have another example. Select asterisk from persons where first name equals Arnold or last name equals Soriano. So if the name is Arnold Azurin, that will be displayed because that is true here, although it is false here. But if we use or, as long as one is true, then the result or the overall result is actually true. So what if we have Lenny Soriano? So the first name is not equal to Arnold, but the last name is equal to Soriano. So that will be displayed. How about if we have Dante Quiroz? So that will not be displayed because it is false here. The first name is not Dante. And it is also false here because the last name is Quiroz, not Soriano. So in or, it will be shown if at least one is true. But if all conditions are false, then it will not be shown. Here, all conditions must be true so that it will be shown. So if at least one condition is false, then it will not be it will not satisfy the condition and it will not be included in the result set. So here we can also use groupings here. So select from persons where first name equals Eudz or first name equals Lenny and last name equals Silang. So if we have Eudz Silang, that will be displayed. If we have Lenny Silang, that will also be displayed. So the first name can be Lenny or Eudz, but the last name should always be Silang. So we can group. So if we group, then this will be evaluated first. By default, and will be evaluated first before or. But if we group, then or will be, in this example, or this operator will be evaluated first before the and operator. The in operator. The in operator may be used if you know the exact value you want to return for at least one of the columns. So select column name from table name. So that's the syntax. So column names rather from table name where column name in, and then we have here the values. So example, select asterisk from persons where last name in Soriano Quiroz. So all records with last name Soriano and all records with last name Quiroz will be displayed or will be returned to the record set. The query will yield the same result using the following query. So this is the same as this one. Logically, it's the same. But of course, this one, we have more code for this. This one is shorter. So it is for this type of answer query, we can more or less lessen the code by using the in operator. So select asterisk from persons where last name equals Soriano or last name equals Kiro. So this is the same as this one, logically the same. Then we have the between and operator. The between and operator selects a range of data. So it's a range of data between two values. This value can be numbers, text, or dates. So the syntax is select, we have the column names from table names. So the same select from where. So the column name between the initial value or the lower value and the upper value. So let's have an example. Select asterisk from persons where last name between Maniklang and Silang. So all records of persons whose last name is between these two last names here will be returned to the record set or will be displayed on the screen if you're using a MySQL command line client. Here's another example. Select asterisk from persons where last name not between Maniklang and Silang. So those that are from A to before the word Maniklang and after Silang up to Z, whatever is the last name, will be displayed. So except only those from within whose last names are within Maniklang and Silang. So we can use the not also. Now to make your output better, we can also make use of column alias. So this SQL alias can be used for column names and table names. So let's say for example, select column as and then we have the column alias from table. For table alias, we'll select column from table and then optionally we can use this keyword here, but I recommend that you don't use this anymore than the table alias. So here are examples. Select last name as family, first name as name from person. So family and name will be the alias. So if you display this one, the result set will use these column names, family and name. Select last name, first name from persons as employees. So we have a table alias here, but as I've said, I have encountered some databases wherein this is not supported, so it's better to use select last name, first name from persons and then employees. So this one is the table alias. So in summary, we use the and or operator to create complex conditions, and we use the in and between and operators to simplify complex conditions. Column alias and table alias can be used to give alternative names to columns or tables. So I'll be showing you an actual example. So here I have here now my MySQL. It's already open, so I'm going to use the database. Show the tables. So I have select asterisk from M. So let's say for example, select asterisk from M where ename equals Eudz or ename equals Roland. So in that example, this will show the record where ename equals Eudz or ename equals Roland. So we have here now the use of or. Let's have another example. So we have select asterisk from M where the department number is equal to 1 and salary is higher than 4,000. So we have here the record. So if you're going to look at the salary, all the salaries here are higher than 4,000 and they all belong to department number 1. So we can use the between operator. Between $6,000 and $8,000. So if you notice, all of the salaries here are between 6 to 8,000. Nothing is below 6,000 and nothing is above 8,000. So that's the use of the between operator. So select asterisk from M, where A name in, you'll have Eudz, Lenny, Dante, and Arnold. So that's now my output. So what are these? These are column alias. So select M no as ID, E name as employee, and sal as salary from M. So you notice that it will be using those column alias, but it's more readable than the original field names. So we can use the tick if we're going to use spaces. So take a look at this. We have select no as ID, E name as name, and salary as salary, and salary times 12 as annual salary. So I use a tick. If we have spaces in our column aliases, then you have to use a tick. Or if you want, you can always use this with or without spaces. So that will be my output. Okay, so that's all for this demo. Thank you very much for viewing this video.